Hi, Heidi here. Welcome to another instalment of my wardrobe tour. I'll be showing you cardigans, jumpers, things like that today. I'll do jumper style things first. I don't really have many of those because I do prefer something that opens at the front. So it's quite a long one. And I found the original item in a charity shop. It is a Shein brand, but I did do some DIY to it, so this zip down the front, you see, I put that in myself, and I opened up the collar as well, because I don't like kind of quite tight turtleneck styles, and I took it in as well because it was a bit large. This one's great to wear instead of a coat, but it's not quite as chilly. This is the only other pullover style of jumper that I have. I found this one in a charity shop, and it's actually the brand Silo. I found this quite a few years ago now, and initially when I bought it I was planning to dye it because it is natural fibre, so that would have been doable, but I haven't got around to doing it for one, and for another I just much prefer front closure items. They're just much easier to get on. I can never regulate my body temperature very well, so I need something that I can put on and take off very easily, and I don't like having to pull things over my head if I can help it. So I have decided to tidy this one out. Next I have hoodies. I only have 2 hoodies at the moment, and this one, which I will show first, is technically not a hoodie anymore because I've removed the hood from it. It's from Marilina 2022, and by the time that I got to the merch stand, medium was the smallest hoodie that was left. My other hoodie is a vintage Cybergoth hoodie, and I got this on Vinted. I was initially thinking of taking off the hood or modifying it in some way, but it's actually really good for when it's very windy, as it often is, because it's quite close around the base and it just keeps you nice and warm. And I'm not a huge fan of the shape of the hood. I may modify that slightly at some point. Just kind of take those bits in. And this one I did take in as well, because I think it's a small in male sizing, so it was a bit too big really. So I took it in slightly, and these zips go in the dark too. Got the Cybergoth logo on the zips as well. Now I have cardigan kind of style things I will show you. This very long cardigan, I have to say I have never worn. I bought it a couple of years ago now, online, I think Vinted, and I really liked the style, and I think if it fit me well then I would keep it, but it just fits too large. I did take it in slightly as well, but even then it just sits way too wide on the shoulders, and the torso is too baggy for my liking. I guess this one's more of a jacket. I bought this on Vinted, I think, listed as a medium, but I think overall it just doesn't fit quite right really, and I'm not really a fan of this size of this point at the back. It's just a bit, the proportions aren't quite what I like to go for, and I'm not really a fan of the hood either, the design, the shape of the edge. I really do like the stitched green details which is what drew me to the jacket in the first place. But I think the points and the kind of overall design is just a bit too exaggerated in a way that I'm not really a fan of. And it fits slightly strangely as well. That's the brand there. I think it's a small business made item. It was made in the UK as well, which is always nice. So yeah, like this fits fine, but then I don't know what's going on with like the shoulder area. It just doesn't seem to be cut properly to fit me very nicely. And yeah, I do quite like the sleeve. I will be selling this one. Cardigan I found in a charity shop. As you will see in the try on clip, this is just about ankle length on me, and it's lovely and cozy. It is a size large, so I will be taking it in a bit so it's more fitted. I'm fairly sure this is potentially vintage. Another charity shop find, I'm fairly sure. I have replaced the zip. It used to be a bronze kind of colour. That's not a metal colour that I like though. So I changed it to this silver one. And I did make this zip slightly shorter than the original one, just because I think it fitted better. The only thing is I have to kind of rearrange this bit. And that's the brand there. Found this one on Vinted for a very cheap price, and I'm fairly sure this is a supermarket make of clothing. I think it's something like Sainsbury's or Tesco maybe. I have considered taking this one to a charity shop a few times. I do like this one, but I have other things that I prefer to wear over this one. All Saints cardigan from Vinted, I'm fairly sure. It's hand wash only, and these fibres, when you're hand washing it, they come off all over your hands, so it's something of a sensory nightmare to wash. But I really love the cardigan, so I guess it's worth it. It doesn't have a closure, so it just sits like so. This yarn, it's ever so slightly, like it's very, very slightly itchy, which isn't the best, so I would wear it a bit more if it wasn't. I've already decided to tidy this one out. It is labelled as a size small, however I have a feeling that may be in male sizing, just because how oversized it fits. And judging by the label, it is vintage. I don't really wear much velvety stuff anymore. It's quite a nice touch though that it's got this red lining inside the pockets. That one I will be selling on my Vinted as well. It's my only body warmer that I have, and this has been in my possession since I was about 10 years old maybe. I didn't wear it at the time at all. I didn't really start wearing it until I was kind of mid-teens, I guess. But luckily I held on to it and I still wear it quite a lot. I'm not really sure what this brand is. It's not one that I've really seen around. And it is size 14, it's 14 to 15 years is the size. Yeah, I think this is kind of maybe a 2000s brand, potentially. I do wear this mostly in the winter. I don't like wearing scarves, so this makes a good substitute for that. For the final category, I have Shrugs, and as suppose I could have probably included these with tops, but I think they're more of a outer layer, kind of layering item. Made this one. I've had it quite a few years now. Yeah, it's mostly scraps of denim, taken from jeans that I ended up cutting up for whatever reason. These ones, as you may be able to tell, were very, very worn by the time I took my scissors to those. I think this is one of the first items of clothing that I actually made from scratch. Still really like this one, even if I don't wear it quite as much as I used to. So I'll absolutely be holding on to this. Handmade by me, this one. I crocheted it from this really nice yarn that I found in a charity shop. And whilst I don't wear it as much anymore because it's purple, of course, I still really like it. I do need to make an effort to wear it more often. This is literally just chain stitch crochet for the entire thing, and I think I just made it up as I went along, really. I just added squares on, just worked it out as I went, and then I've got this hook closure that I sewed on. I don't think I actually intended for this to be off the shoulder, but that's just kind of how it ended up. This is one that I upcycled, found it in a charity shop. It was a full-length mesh top that had loads of random patches sewn onto it. I think it was from H&M or something like that. So in taking off patches, obviously it's kind of difficult to take out stitching from this without leaving any kind of damage. So the ones that were down here, I seem to remember, I ended up making a bit of a hole. So I cut it into a shrug instead, and I did have to sew up that part on the sleeve there, but you don't really notice it at all. And I've worn this so many times. Here we have the sleeves of a very old thermal long sleeve top, and I don't know if you can tell by how massively stretched out this is, but I've had this a very long time. It has seen many winters, and at one point it was getting so thin and stretched out on the body and the shoulders that I decided the best thing for it was to chop it into a shrug. Surprisingly, the sleeves weren't as see-through as the rest of it for some reason. I did cut some fun holes in it as well. I'm thinking I might need to reshape it a little bit soon, just because it's so baggy around the shoulders and it sits off the shoulder anyway. So I may reshape it with that in mind. It does still have the tiniest bit of kind of glitteriness on it. For some reason it was a thermal top with glitter added in. And I don't know how it was done actually, because it literally looks like bits of glitter, you know, like craft glitter, but it never seemed to shed from the fabric, which I thought was very strange. Yeah, I can't really see it. I can see it quite well there, but can't really see it here. I'm not sure if it's going to show up. This one does get quite a lot of wear as well. It's so nice and soft, being so well worn and washed so many times. The one and only item from this category that was bought new, and it's from Cybergoth, as you may be able to tell. Bought this from their mothership shop in Camden. Bought this a couple of years ago, so it's quite a modern item. It's fleece lined, so it is surprisingly warm. most of the time I fold this collar down though, because I'm not really a fan of that. This is an item of clothing that's actually more interesting on the back. I have styled this backwards before, just so I actually have the interesting graphic on the front. It kind of worked, but because of this band across the back, because of this, it kind of sat a bit awkwardly. Charity shop find of many years ago. This has seen a lot of wear, and that's the brand there. Not one I've heard of since. And the final thing I have to show you for this video, I found this on Depop quite a few years ago. It's the brand Spank London. I do want to take this point off the hood. I'm just not really a fan of that. I want to just curve it around. I haven't got around to doing that yet, but at some point. It's quite a warm one as well, being fleece. It doesn't have a closure. The hood kind of pulls down a bit sometimes, but I have to just get it positioned right. Those were all of my jumpers and cardigans and such. I will do coats and jackets in another video. I hope you enjoyed. If you had a favourite item, let me know which one it was in the comments. Hey!